Hello everyone, this is Laura, and welcome back to Become a Fluent English Speaker. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever spoken English and noticed that the other person's reaction felt a little strange? Maybe they became quiet. Maybe they seemed uncomfortable. Or maybe the conversation suddenly felt awkward. If that has happened to you, it might not be because your grammar was wrong. It might be because of something much more surprising. You may have accidentally sounded rude without realizing it. This is one of the biggest hidden challenges for English learners. You can know thousands of English words, understand grammar rules, and still make communication mistakes that affect how people see you. Today, we're going to explore 5 common English mistakes that can make you sound rude even when you have good intentions. Don't worry if you've made these mistakes before. Most learners have. The important thing is recognizing them and learning more natural alternatives. Let's begin with mistake number 1, being too direct. Imagine someone asks for your opinion and you respond with, "You're wrong. Grammatically, this sentence is correct." But in many English-speaking cultures, it can sound harsh. A more natural approach would be, "I see your point, but I have a different perspective," or "I'm not sure I agree." Notice how these responses soften the disagreement. Native speakers often try to protect the relationship while expressing a different opinion. Mistake number 2 is giving commands instead of requests. Many learners say things like, "Give me your phone," or "Open the window." While these sentences are technically correct, they can sound demanding unless you're in a situation where giving instructions is appropriate. Instead, try saying, "Could you give me your phone for a moment?" Or "Could you open the window, please?" Adding polite language makes a huge difference in how your message is received. Mistake number 3 is forgetting small, polite words. Words like please, thank you, excuse me, and sorry may seem small, but they carry a lot of social value in English. Imagine walking up to someone and saying, "Move." Most people would find that rude, but if you say, "Excuse me, could I get through?" the tone changes completely. These small expressions act like social bridges that make conversations smoother and friendlier. Mistake number 4 is answering questions too briefly. This one surprises many learners. If someone asks, "How was your weekend?" and you simply answer, "Fine," the conversation can feel closed. The other person may feel that you're not interested in talking. Instead, try giving a little more information. For example, "It was good. I spent some time with my family and watched a movie." You don't need a long answer, just enough to keep the conversation moving. Remember, communication is not only about exchanging information, it's also about building connections. Mistake number 5 is correcting people too aggressively. Some learners become excited when they notice a mistake and immediately point it out. Imagine someone says something incorrectly, and you respond with, "No, that's wrong," even if you're correct. The way you deliver the correction matters. A more polite approach might be, "I think you mean this," or another way to say that is, "This sounds more supportive and respectful." Now, here's something important to understand. Being polite in English doesn't mean being weak or dishonest. It means understanding how language affects emotions. Native speakers often choose words carefully because they know that communication is about more than facts. It's about relationships. The goal is not just to express an idea. The goal is to express it in a way that people can receive positively. One reason these mistakes happen is because learners often translate directly from their native language. A phrase that sounds normal in one language may sound too strong in English. That's why learning natural expressions is just as important as learning grammar. Fluency is not only about speaking correctly, it's about speaking appropriately in different situations. The good news is that these mistakes are easy to fix once you become aware of them. Start paying attention to how native speakers make requests, disagree with others, ask questions, and respond during conversations. You'll notice that they often use softer language, polite phrases, and friendly expressions. Over time, these patterns will become part of your own communication style. And here's the best part. When you learn these skills, people don't just understand your English better, they enjoy talking to you more. You sound more confident, more professional, and more socially aware. That's a powerful advantage whether you're making friends, studying, traveling, or working in English. So let's quickly review the 5 mistakes. Being too direct when disagreeing, giving commands instead of polite requests, forgetting small polite words, giving answers that are too short, and correcting people too aggressively. Avoiding these mistakes can instantly make your English sound warmer, friendlier, and more natural. Now, before we finish today's English listening podcast, I want you to write something in the comments. Which of these 5 mistakes do you think English learners make most often? And if you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe to become a fluent English speaker for more English listening practice, communication skills, fluency training, and confidence building lessons. This is Laura, and remember, great communication is not only about speaking correctly, it's also about making people feel comfortable and respected. Keep practicing, keep learning, and keep growing. I'll see you in the next podcast. Keep growing.